वैष्णवभगिनतात्रेयः ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाताम् सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, we are continuing our discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 7. In this chapter, we are discussing all the devtas. They go to Brahmaji and they ask for the remedy, what to do. We have offended Lord Shiva and he has become so angry. Please give us some way how to handle the situation. And Brahmaji first of all chastises them. He says, you have done a great mistake. Actually, you should die because of this mistake. You should be punished. But because Lord Shiva, he is Ashutosh, he'll be pleased very easily. You go and ask forgiveness from him. So all the devtas they go, and we heard the description of Kailash, and Brahmaji also comes with them. The wonderful description of Kailash is given, and ultimately Brahmaji pacifies Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is glorified there. This is all happening in the previous chapter. Lord Shiva is glorified as Supreme Personality of Godhead by Brahmaji. Ultimately, in this chapter, Lord Shiva he tells, actually, I punished Daksha just to correct him. I have no enmity. I didn't take it seriously. And all of them, along with Lord Shiva, they reach the sacrifice of Daksha. And Daksha was given a goat head, and different personalities, they were given different compensatory benedictions. And as Daksha comes back to life, he he feels as if he has awakened from the sleep. He understood his great mistake. He remembered how his daughter, she left her body. He was very sad because of that. And then he started offering beautiful prayers unto Lord Shiva. So we will continue from verse number 13. Daksha is offering prayers to Lord Shiva. दक्ष उवाच भूयाननुग्रहो भवता कृतो मे दण्डस्त्वया मयि भृतो यदपि प्रलब्धः न ब्रह्मबन्धुषु च वां भगवन्नवज्ञा तुभ्यं हरेश्च कुत एव धृतव्रतेषु
King Daksha said, my dear Lord Shiva, I committed a great offense against you, but you are so kind that instead of withdrawing your mercy, you have done a great favor by punishing me. You and Lord Vishnu never neglect even useless. unqualified Brahmana. Why then should you neglect me? I am engaged in performing sacrifices.
So although Daksha's body has become a degraded one, he has got a goat head, but his consciousness has gone high. And that's what Prabhupada also mentions in the previous purport that the brain is not supposed to be the seat of intelligence. It is the mind which is the source of all intelligence and consciousness, of all the discrimination, everything. The subtle body, mind intelligence, not the gross organ brain. So now in this verse, he is saying, by punishing me, you have shown me mercy. Anugraha, that is your anugraha. Bhuyan anugraha aho. You have done a great favor on me by punishing me. That is the ideal attitude of a personality who is punished by the superiors. He always feels that this punishment is for my well-being. It is mercy of the superiors. That should be the attitude of the subordinate whenever he is punished. One should not feel why I am punished. I didn't do anything wrong. I am punished unjustly. No, the subordinate always feels like this. It is a great mercy you have done to me. Bhuyan anugrah aho bhavata krito me. It is your great mercy, O my Lord. That's why you have punished me, and that shows how kind you are. And Srila Prabhupada writes, although Daksha felt defeated, he knew that his punishment was simply the great mercy of Lord Shiva. He remembered that Lord Shiva and Vishnu are never neglectful of the Brahmanas, even though the Brahmanas are sometimes unqualified. According to Vedic civilization, a descendant of Brahmana family should never be heavily punished. So Prabhupada writes about Ashwatthama, although he made a mistake, but still, I think we did this verse last time. I remember that.
We're just doing this, we did not go ahead.
Yeah.
We did not complete.
So Ashwatthama, he was punished. He was arrested, and he was supposed to be killed. But Draupadi, she says, no, please don't kill him. Because of 6 reasons. Dharmyam, Nyayam, Sakarunam, Nirvyalikam, Samam Mahat. It is against dharma to kill a Brahman. It is not a justice, because you are taking instructions from his father and you are punishing his son. That is not right. That is against the law. Sakarunam, Kripi will suffer as I am suffering. Then Nirvyalikam, it is duplicitous. On one hand, you are supposed to be the protector of the Brahminical community, on the other hand, you are punishing and killing a Brahman. He should be equal to everyone. And it is not a great act to kill a Brahman. So Prabhupada writes about that. According to a Vedic civilization, a descendant of Brahman should never be heavily punished. And Daksha, he was born from a Brahman father. But because he didn't behave like a Brahman, he is Brahma Bandhu. But still, because he is a Brahmana, even Brahma Bandhu should not be killed. So that's what he is saying. Chakravarti Thakur writes, though I criticized you, you punished me. And taught me, thinking of me as your relative, non being indifferent to me, that was proper. You and Vishnu do not neglect even the corrupt Brahmanas. And then he says, what was the reason for this disposition? Why you are showing me mercy? What was the reason? He tells in the next verse. You can read the translation, please.
My dear great and powerful Lord Shiva, you were created first from the mouth of Lord Brahma in order to protect the Brahmanas in pursuing education, austerities, vows, and self-realization. As protector of the Brahmanas, you always protect the regulative principles they follow. Just as a cowherd boy keeps a stick in his hand to give protection to the cows.
So we all know who is the creator of Varnashram, Supreme Lord Vishnu. But here again, Daksha, he is glorifying Lord Shiva as if he is a supreme creator. That is natural understanding. We have discussed about it in the last class also. You only created the Brahmanas for protecting the Vedas. And it is your duty to protect the Brahmanas. Vidya tapo vrat dharan mukhatasma vipran. That in order to protect the Brahmanas who are engaged in education, austerities, vow, and self realization, you are doing everything. You protect the Brahmanas. And as a protector of Brahmanas, you follow the regulative principles. You always protect the regulative principles. They follow just like a cowherd boy. Palah pashun iva vibho pragrihit dandaha. Just like a cowherd boy keeps a stick in his hand to give protection to the cows. Although it seems that he is hitting the cow, but he is not hitting the cow. He is keeping them, he is protecting them from going to the wrong path. So that's how you have also punished me so that we can be on the right path. That is what he is described. He is describing. So you have punished me as an act of protection. It is not your punishment. It is your mercy that you have punished me. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport he gives three meanings of Pashu. So the word used here is Pashu. Pala Pashun Iva. So who is the Pashu? Prabhupada gives three meanings of this Pashu. Lord Shiva is Pashupati because he protects the living entities in their developed consciousness so that they may follow the Vedic system of Varnashram. The Pashu refers to the animal. Pashu refers to the living entity. And the third meaning of the Pashu is, Prabhupada writes, he writes after a few lines. Another feature of this word is that persons who are simply attached to ritualistic portion of the Vedas and do not understand, second paragraph, Prabhupada writes it, and do not understand the situation of the Supreme Lord are not any more advanced than animals. They are Pashu. Those who are just absorbed in following the Karma Kandi rituals and don't even try to develop connection with Supreme Lord, they are Pashu. Nivritta Tarshaya Rupagiyamana Bhavoshada Shrotta Virama Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvada Vinan Uman Virajyet Vina Pashu Ghanat. Only a person who is Pashu, who is killer of animals, he will not develop connection with Supreme Lord. That is what is described here. So that is also the meaning of the word Pashu. And then Prabhupada writes, in the beginning of Bhagavatam, it is confirmed that even though one performs the ritual of the Vedas, if he does not develop a sense of Krishna consciousness, it is just a waste of time. Which verse says this? Shrama eva hi kevalam. कैसे शुरू होता है? धर्म सुनिष्ठिता पुंसाम विश्वक्सेन कथा स्वयः न उत्पाद्येद रतिम यदि श्रम एव हि केवलम. So all the ritualistic portions of the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita also describes Yam Imam Pushpitam Vacha. They are all like flowery words of the Vedas. Vedavadarata Partha Nanyat Astiti Vadinaha. And those people who are interested in going to Swarga, their only consciousness is how to go to Swarga. Kam Atma. Their Atma is for Kam. Their Atma is calm, and for that they are doing so many great endeavors. Kam Atmana Swarga Para Janma Karma Phala Pradam Kriya Vishesh Bahulam Bhoga Ishwarya Gatim Prati. They want Bhoga and Aishwarya. So what they do? Kriya Vishesh Bahula. They endeavor greatly in this material world. And they may do lots of tapasya also. बहुत तपस्या भी करेंगे. But their goal is we want higher enjoyment. The enjoyment of this world is not so great. They never develop sense of Krishna consciousness. They just waste their time in material endeavors. Lord Shiva's aim in destroying Daksha Yagya was to punish Daksha, because by neglecting him, Daksha was committing a great offense. And then Prabhupada writes about this the stick of a cowherd boy. It is commonly said that to give protection to animals, a stick is needed because animals cannot reason and argue. It's like one time there was a logician. He went to a countryside and he saw a farmer. He was just lying in his cart on his field, and the bull was going around, moving, and oil was coming out. It had a bell ringing. So this logician asks, "Why you have put this bell?" So he says, "Because I can understand when the bull stops working." So he says, "What if the bull set one place and moves his head?" So he says, "He's a bull, not a logician like you. He never understands all these things." So bull animals cannot reason and argue. Their reasoning and argument is Sharda Prasad Roop, can you please keep yourself to mute? Their reasoning and argument is argumentum ad baculum. Unless there is rod, they do not obey. मतलब दंड दंड चाहिए ही, छड़ी चाहिए. Force is required for the animalistic class of men, whereas those who are advanced, they are convinced by reasons, arguments, and scriptural authority. So it is needed when the societies, that's why they said there are two things which control people, Shastra and Shastra. If Shastra is not there, then Shastra is needed. You know how many police stations are there in America? Achha, what's the population of America? Haji? 350 million, 33 crores. And India?
1.5 billion.
Yeah, India.
120 प्रो जी 120.
चलो 120 crore, ठीक है चलिए. For 33 crore जनता, उनके पास कितने पुलिस स्टेशन है मालूम है? They have around 18,000 police stations. So according to this, इंडिया में कितने होने चाहिए? अभी गूगल करिए कितने हैं. India has less than 18,000 police stations. But still the crime rate in India is less than America. Why? Because Shastra is there. People are controlled by Shastra. They have the scriptural understanding which controls them.
Reason.
Huh?
They can reason out at least.
Yeah. मतलब इट इज जनरल थिंग. आजकल स्कूल्स में वहां पे बच्चों को भी बोलते हैं कि भाई यू कैन कैरी वेपन्स एंड इफ नोबडी शुड हिट चिल्ड्रन. ऐसा बच्चों को एकदम ऐसा प्रेम से डांटना नहीं है. For Indians, if any child is doing some garbad, one slap is sufficient. Of course, it may go to other extreme. Now it is going, so that's why so many rules are coming up. But still, when reasoning is not there, when logic and scriptural injunctions are not there, then all these artificial rules and regulations are imposed. Just like in Western, there is a rule, you can't hit children, and children can complain to police also. ऐसा बताया जाता है हमको. They do also. तो एक बार ऐसे एक इंडियन, he was there and he hit a child and उसने कंप्लेंट कर दिया पुलिस में. तो पुलिस आके लेके गए बच्चे को. 2 दिन तक बेचारे पेरेंट्स जेल में. So he got so frustrated that enough of this business in America. He wound up everything, came to India, and as he landed, आप बोल किसको बोलेगा.
they complain to their parents.
हाँ वो पेरेंट्स, पापा ने मारा तो पेरेंट पुलिस को कंप्लेन कर सकते हैं.
That was for some parents.
That is there. That is there. The other extremes are always there. That's how, दुख औषधम तदपि दुखम है यहाँ पे. You want to solve one problem, it creates a bigger problem. That's how this material world is designed. And because we don't have the people, many times they don't have the proper understanding how to solve the issues, so they try to use their intelligence. And human intelligence is always having error. So they come up with a solution which creates a bigger problem. So that's how force is required for animalistic class of men, whereas those who are advanced are convinced by reasons, arguments, and scriptural authority. People who are simply attached to Vedic rituals without further advancement of Krishna consciousness are almost like animals. And Lord Shiva is in charge of giving them protection and sometimes punishing them. So he says, you have punished me because you want to protect the Brahminical culture. And then continues. The next verse translation, please.
I did not know your full glories. For this reason, I threw arrows of sharp words at you in the open assembly, although you did not take them into account. I was going down to hell because of my disobedience to you, who are the most respectable personality. But you took compassion upon me and saved me by avoiding punishment. I request that you be pleased by your own mercy, since I cannot satisfy you by my words.
So he says, I didn't know your glories, avidit tattva. I didn't know actual glories, how glorious you are, and therefore, sabhayam shipta. I abused you with durukti. I abused with harsh words. Vishikhai, by the arrows. They are like the arrows. So he's accepting that I spoke very harshly, insulting words. He remembers all those harsh words. Markatalochan and Lupta Kriyaya Shuchaye and Bhinna Abhinna Setave, all those words. So he's accepting that I made a great mistake, but Vigannaya, you never noticed it. That's how a great personality is. Vigannaya, you didn't count my faults. Ganana, हम लोग गिन गिन के, है ना, जो लोग बदला ले, गिन गिन के बदला लेंगे हम लोग. And that's how people say. So he says, you didn't count my faults. Vigannaya. You didn't count my sharp words. That's how great personalities are. That's how the great devotees are. Tiraskritaha vipralabdhaha shapta shipta hata api na syatat pratikurvanti tad bhakta prabhavopihi. The great devotees of the Lord, they never ever retaliate. Even if they are insulted, cheated, abused, or even tried to be killed. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he writes, I cannot atone properly. You abused by me, who have no knowledge of truth, did not consider it significant. Vigannaya. You saved me, who had fallen down by your compassionate glance. Otherwise, I could not be delivered from hell. The mistake I did, I was supposed to suffer in hell. But you have so mercifully delivered me. You should be satisfied by the mercy you give others. Yes, it is said, Lord Krishna told, you be satisfied with your service, he told to gopis. So he's saying, you be satisfied by your mercy only. I cannot satisfy you. I have no ability to satisfy you. You're such great, I'm so insignificant. So that's how a devotee, he discounts all the pains which comes in the way of service and on themselves. The devotee never ever counts. And the significant Chandan Yatra is going on. Famous Madhavendra Puri pastime says this. Bahu parishram kori chandan re muna anand badila mane dukh na ganila. With lots of endeavor, He brought Chandan from Odisha, Puri to Remuna. आनंद बढ़िला मने he was not dis he was not pained. इतना उठा के लाना पड़ रहा है. दुख ना गणिला. He didn't count all the pains. So that's how Daksha, he is saying, you punished me not out of grudge. You know, sometimes a senior may punish the junior out of grudge. गलती इतनी होगी बट पहले का सब भड़ास निकालेंगे. Or out of sincere compassion. So Daksha is saying, you punished me to correct me. You are showing mercy to me. You are not, just pouring out your past grudge. No. So this is the perspective of subordinate. Daksha, although he made great mistake in the past, but now he is doing a very nice thing. He is accepting that I made a mistake and you are punishing me for my benefit. It is not because yet I did something to you. Now you are retaliating. You are doing the same thing to me. No, you are doing it as a mercy to me. So Prabhupada writes, as usual, a devotee in an adverse condition of life accepts such a condition to be mercy of the Lord. Which verse says this? Adversities are the mercy of the Lord. तत्तेऽनुकम्पा सुषमीक्ष्यमाणो भुञ्जानो एवात्मकृतं विपाकम् हृद्भागवपुर्भिर्विदधन् नमस्ते जीवेत यो मुक्तिपदे सदाय भाक्. So that's how a devotee is. So factually, Daksha was about to go to hell for his activities, for his actions. But Lord Shiva, he neutralized the offense. So Daksha is appreciating that the punishment is Shiva's mercy. Prabhupada writes an important line. That is a symptom of a person making progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. When we start accepting calamities as the mercy of the Lord, that shows we are advancing. That may be very high level, but at least to begin with, we can be grateful for the good things the Lord is giving to us. Then when the bad things will come, we'll also be grateful for them. So that is the conscious endeavor of a devotee, to be grateful in every step of our life. Kritagya konu seveta duraradhyam sadhuvi. Only a wicked person is not grateful. Tam sukharadhyam rijbhir ananya sharaner nibhir kritagya konu seveta. Who is that ungrateful person? Who is that grateful person who will not serve you? Kritagya kona seveta. Only a duraradhya, only a sadhu will not worship the Lord. So devotee, Prabhupada writes, a devotee in Krishna consciousness never takes any miserable condition of life to be condemnation by the Lord. He accepts it as the grace of the Lord. So that is the conscious endeavor of a devotee. Whatever is happening in my life, that is the mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada writes the same. I would have been punished and put in a more dangerous situation. The Lord has protected me by giving very little. So that's how sincerely Daksha is repenting here. Although he is speaking all those wonderful words, such wonderful sincere repentance, but the power of Vaishnava Aparadha is such that the remains never go so easily till the time one sincerely serves the devotee, repents for a long time. He's again made the same mistake and criticized and insulted, offended Narad Muni. So after this, Maitreya Muni, he continues. Maitreya uvacha Kshamaapyaivam samidhushvam Miduvam Kshamaapyaivam midhuvam sam Brahmana chanumantritaha कर्म संतानयामास सोपाध्याय आदिभिः.
The great sage Maitreya said, thus being pardoned by Lord Shiva, King Daksha, with the permission of Lord Brahma, again began the performance of Yagna along with the great learned sage.
So again, Daksha with his goat head, he started doing this sacrifice. And first he offered a Purodas sacrifice to purify the place. Translation, please. Next verse. Next verse translation.
Thereafter, in order to resume the activities of sacrifice, the Brahmanas first arranged to purify the sacrificial arena of the contamination caused by the touch of Veerbhadra and other ghastly followers of Lord Shiva. Then they arranged to offer into the fire the oblations known as Purodhasa.
So that's how they started again doing the yajna, which was stopped because Daksha was dead. Virabhadra left. He went back, na? He went back to abode of Lord Shiva. And he must have merged in Lord Shiva again. It does not describe what happened to him. He is the energy of the Lord, expansion of the Lord. So Prabhupada writes, Lord Shiva's followers and devotees, headed by Veerbhadra, they are ghostly demons. Not only did they pollute the entire area, they disturbed the whole situation by passing stool and urine. So therefore, it has to be first purified. And that is called as Purodasa. Prabhupada writes, Vishnu Yajna must be performed, cannot be performed uncleanly. To offer anything in unclean state is called Seva Aparad. Prabhupada would always say, deity worship means two things. Okay?
Cleanliness and punctuality.
Cleanliness, yes. So Prabhupada writes about that. He writes about the standards of deity worship, 32 types of offenses in deity worship. Prabhupada mentions about that. Generally, whenever any ritualistic ceremonies begin, the holy names of Lord Vishnu is first chanted. Which verse? To purify, very common verse, always chanted. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksha sa bahya abhyantara shuchihi. So Prabhupada writes, paraphrases that whether one is pure or impure, if one chants the name of the Lord, he becomes immediately purified. So because the followers of Lord Shiva, they contaminated the place. So now, first thing which had to be done was purification. So seva aparadas should be avoided. There are various types of seva aparad. One is not clean, not punctual, not respectful, not careful in avoiding aparad, and worship which is done with pride. That is also aparad. Not careful in avoiding aparad means काम चलाओ सेवा करके निकलो भाई जल्दी जल्दी फटाफट होना चाहिए सेवा काम चलाओ. That is also an aparad. It should be done with all precision, all diligence. Attention to details is sign of love, Prabhupada would say. And Prabhupada writes here, by chanting of the names of the Lord, everything becomes auspicious. That is described by Shukracharya of all the people in 8th Canto. When Vamana Dev asks Shukracharya what was the fault of Bali Maharaj, he says, Oh my Lord, wherever your names are chanted, there is no fault. The Shukracharya बोल रहे हैं. मंत्रतस् तंत्रतस् छिद्रश देश कालार्थ वस्तुतः सर्वं करोति निश्छिद्रम अनुसंकीर्तनम तव. Any fault becomes nishchidra. Any hole that is filled up by chanting of the names of the Lord. Otherwise, even a small error in any ritualistic activity can create a completely different result. Any example? Vritrasur. Indra Shatru. There was just some meter was different. So a personality who will be killed by Indra was created. So now after this, as the yajna is going on, ultimately Lord Vishnu appears, Hari appears. Translation, next verse.
The great says Vaibhav said to Vidura, my dear Vidura, as soon as King Daksh offered the clarifying water with Vaibhav mantras in sanctified meditation, Lord Vishnu appeared there in his original form as Narayan.
So that's how Daksha was. मतलब ऐसे ही यज्ञ में आहुति डाला तो विष्णु आ गए. That's how powerful personality he was. And Prabhupada writes, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So although Daksha, he is seeing Lord Vishnu, but Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him just for managerial reasons, not because of the devotion of Daksha. Just like, a pure devotee, a guru may associate with somebody for managerial purposes, and somebody because that devotee has done some nice seva and he is doing nice bhakti. So they are two different things. If somebody is doing some managerial services and guru has to tell Baba galti kar raha hai, usko batana padega. So that does not mean, just like many times Gaurang Pro says when people see कि भाई महाराज गौरांग प्रो के कंधे पे हाथ रखे हैं और कुछ बोल रहे हैं, सबको लगता है वाह गौरांग प्रो कितना भाग्य. गौरांग प्रो बोलते हैं उन जिनको लगता है उनको अगर मेरे पोजीशन में डालेंगे तो पता चलेगा वो नेक्टर नहीं है उधर. जो भागवतम में नेक्टर आता है और जैसे कंधे पे हाथ रख के जब महाराज कुछ बोलते हैं तो बहुत अंतर है. कंधे पे हाथ रख के बोल रहे हैं मतलब कुछ तो या तो इंस्ट्रक्शन मिल रहा है या तो चेस्टाइजमेंट मिल रहा है. सो दैट्स हाउ इट इज. सो दक्षा, he is not a great devotee here. He is devotee in the mode of ignorance, but still because he is doing a great service, therefore Lord Vishnu appears in front of him and he is giving him darshan. So one should not feel अरे भगवान का दर्शन हो गया कितने बड़े डिवोटी हैं. There are two different things. Prabhupada would always say, proximity is not a criteria for dearness. Prabhupada said, this ant is also on me, on my dhoti, but it is giving me trouble. So it is not about proximity. It is about the mood in which the service is done. Just like one time somebody asked, I think Niranjan Swami Maharaj, Maharaj, how many times you have met Prabhupada? Maharaj did like this. Never. But the amount of services he has done, that is unparalleled. So it is not about proximity. Vapu Seva is great, but if somebody is not able to get Vapu Seva, Vani Seva is still greater. So that is emphasized. So as Lord Vishnu appears in front of him, next verse describes beautiful Lord Narayan appearing. Tada swaprabhaya tesham jyotyantya dasha
Dhotantaदिशोदश
तेजोपानीता
कृष्णंस्तेज उपानीता
तार्क्ष्येण स्तोत्रवाजिना.
साक्षादेन स्तोत्रभाजिना
Was seated on the shoulder of Stotra or Garuda, who had big wings. As soon as the Lord appeared, all directions were illuminated, diminishing the luster of Brahma and others present.
So Lord Shiva appears with Garudas on Garuda's wings, seated on Garuda's wings. That's why he's called as Uru Suparna Bhujayo Radhisho Bhamana. ये कहाँ पे है Alex? Uru Suparna Bhujayo Radhisho Bhamana. Ojo Nidhi Yatasika.
Description of thighs of the Lord.
Thighs of the Lord. Lord's thighs are there on the wings of Garuda, who is Suparna Bhujayo. He is golden winged. And when Garudaji flaps its wings, Samaveda comes out. That is hymns of Samaveda. So he is very effulgent, diminished the luster of Brahma and everyone present there. Now, the beauty of Lord Hari is described in the next verse beautifully. Beautiful description is there in next two verses. Shyamo hiranyarasano arka kirita jushto
Hiranyarashno
नीलालक भ्रमर मंडित कुंडलास्यः शंखाब्ज चक्र शरचाप गदासि चर्मा व्यग्रे हिरण्मय भुजैरिव कर्णिकारः
His complexion was blackish, his garment yellow like gold, and his helmet as dazzling as the sun. His hair was bluish, the color of black bees, and his face was decorated with earrings. His 8 hands held a conch shell, wheel, club, lotus flower, arrow, bow, shield, and sword, and they were decorating with golden ornaments such as bangles and bracelets. His whole body resembled a blossoming tree, beautifully decorated with various kinds of flowers.
Shyamo, his complexion was blackish. Hiranyarasano, golden garments. Arka kirita jushta, his helmet was dazzling like sun. Arka kirita, arka means sun. And he has a beautiful curly hair. Neel alaka, not blackish, bluish. Neel alaka. Bhramar mandit, the color of the black bees. And the face was decorated with earrings, kundalasya. And he had 8 hands. Hare Krishna Mataji, welcome. After a long time. 8 hands. So Lord appeared not in 4-handed form, but 8-handed form. How is your health, Mataji, all well? Okay. So Vyagrair, and they are decorated with golden ornaments like bracelets and bangles. And he resembled like a very beautiful blossoming tree decorated with various kinds of karnika flowers. So Srila Prabhupada writes, the Lord generally appears in 4-handed form, and the position of Shankha Chakra Gada Padma differs according to the different expansions. And the two weapons, club and wheel, they are for protection of the devotees, and conch and lotus, they are for showing mercy to devotees. Any example where Lord used conch to show mercy? Dhruv Maharaj, he touched the forehead. Karnika flowers look like, Google कर लीजिए अभी. Karnika मुझे भी मालूम नहीं. Karnika flowers कैसे दिखते हैं? सुना तो हमने भी है. गूगल करेंगे तो पता चलेगा.
In the Vrindavan description, Bhagavatam.
हाँ, कर्णिकारम. नहीं, must be there. अभी भी होगा. And the conch and lotus is always there. Any other examples where Lord used his conch shell? अभी हमने कहाँ first canto में पढ़ा है. When Lord enters Dwarka, he blows his conch shell, and his conch shell appears like swans in midst of the lotus flower. His palm is reddish, pinkish, and this conch is like the swan. And Prabhupada writes how Lord appears to protect the devotees and highlight the demons. The demons and the devotees, they are described. Chakravarti Thakur writes some interesting things.
इस पे वो करने का फ्लावर मतलब वो पी प्लांट का फ्लावर रहता है ना, वैसा दिखा रहा है. उसको गोकर्ण कहते हैं मराठी में या हिंदी में भी. हरे कृष्णा.
वो है कर्णिका, तो वो तो कॉमन फ्लावर्स है.
हाँ हाँ कॉमन, वो लैवेंडर कलर का फ्लावर आता है वो। हरे कृष्णा, दंडवत
Okay.
प्रणाम।
ठीक है, थैंक यू, कर्णिका flower. The Lord is described in next two verses. He has a belt of golden bells. Niranya Rasanaha or Hiranya Rasanaha. Rasana means cloth, yellow cloth. He had a crown as brilliant as sun. His face was decorated with curly hairs. It was with black lock like beads and with earrings. So the face of the Lord is compared to lotus. How many parts of Krishna's body are compared with lotus? 8 parts. Netra, Nabhi, Vadan, Karyuga, Charan, Ashta, Padma, Krishna Ange. 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 feet, navel and face. So the face is like the lotus flower and the curly hair on the face, they are like the bumblebees hovering on this lotus flower. So there is comparison of face to a lotus, hair to the bees, earrings to the sun, which comes to make the lotus bloom. So when the sun comes, then lotus blooms. So earrings are dazzling like the sun. Chakravarti Thakur writes, Karnikara is defined as that which produces a pericarp. कर्णिका, पेरिकार्प। पेरिकार्प वो एक बॉटनी में था, अब इसको याद नहीं आ रहा। पेरिकार्प। Okay, next verse. The beauty of the Lord continues. Vakshasya dhishrita vadhu vanamalyudara आसावलोककलया रमयं च विश्वम्
आसावलोककलया रमयं च विश्वम्
आर्षभ्रमद्व्यजनचामरराजहंसा
पार्श्वाभ्रममध्वजन चामराजहंसा
तातपत्रशशिनोपरिरज्यमानः
श्वेतातपत्रशशिनो परिराज्यमाना।
Lord Vishnu looked extraordinarily beautiful, because the goddess of fortune and a garland were situated on his chest. His face was beautifully decorated with a smiling attitude, which can captivate the entire world, especially the devotees. Fans of white hair appeared on both sides of the Lord like white swans, and white canopy overhead looked like the moon.
So the beauty of the Lord is he's extraordinarily beautiful. ऐसा नहीं कि हाँ वे थोड़े बहुत सुंदर थे. No. Vakshasi on his chest, Adhishrita, who was situated Vadhu. Who is that Vadhu? The goddess of fortune in the form of Srivatsa. And he has one mala. He has a one mala, Vaijayanti mala. Vaijayanti mala is the flower garland of 5 types of flowers. And the most important, most beautiful part of Krishna's face is his beautiful smile. Hasavalok kalaya. Krishnanga lavanya pur madhur hoite sumadhur tate e mukh sudhakar. Madhur hoite sumadhur taha hoite sumadhur tarai smita jyotsna bhar. So Kaviraj Goswami describes Krishna's body is a city of beauty. Krishnanga Lavanyapur is a city of beauty. And in that, Madhur Hoite Sumadhur, it is beautiful. In that, the most beautiful is Mukha Sudhakar, the face of the Lord. And in that face, what is most beautiful? Tare Smita Jyotsna. The Lord smiles in Smita Hasya. वो लाफ्टर का भी बहुत सारे प्रकार होते हैं ना. नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन रूप गोस्वामी डिस्क्राइब्स स्मित हास्य, हसिता, अति हसिता, ऐसा कुछ तो 4-5 बोलते हैं. लास्ट वाला रहता है वो ऐसा, वो हंस के ऐसा है, बैटिंग ऑन द थाइज, एंड जो भी बगल में उसको भी मार रहे हैं. दैट इज अति हसिता. So the Lord smiles as स्मित हास्य हासावलोक कलया Ramayam Vishwam, that smile can captivate the entire world, especially the devotees. And we have heard in two places how the smile of the Lord is the reciprocation of the Lord. कहाँ पे सुना है हमने अभी तक? फर्स्ट कैंटो में ही सुना है. When Kunti Maharani offers prayers, he just smiles. Or when Dwarkavasis offer prayers, he just smiles. That smile is sufficient remuneration. बस भगवान हंस दिए, स्माइल किए, बस काफी है. So especially for the devotees, that smile is very, very important. मुखेन लोकार्ति हरस्मितेन परे सुरत्कुण्डलमण्डितेन शोणायितेन धरबिम्बभासा प्रत्यर्हयन्तं सुनसेन शुभ्रवा. Other description of the face of the Lord. Mukhena, the smile of the Lord, the face of the Lord. Lok arti hara. It can destroy all the distress of people of the world, especially devotees. So that is what is described. Ramayamscha Vishwam. And then Lord, he appeared around him. Two Vyajans were there on his side. Chamar, Vijay, Chamar, white fan. Or they were automatically moving. There were no devotees. Just Chamar ghum rahe hain. The fan of white hair appeared on both sides like swan. Beautiful description. And उनके ऊपर जो there was an umbrella also. श्वेतात पत्र. It looked like a moon. So मतलब भगवान का face is like that cloud और lotus. फिर बम्बल बी. फिर उसके बगल में और क्या है? Swans भी हैं. फिर ऊपर moon भी है. That's how beautiful form of the Lord is described. राधा गोविंद महाराज से अगर आपको भागवतम पढ़ना है तो आप गांव में जाके पढ़िए. गांव में इन सब की सुंदरता का अनुभव हो सकता है. Because all the examples in Bhagavatam, they are from village settings. नहीं तो ये कहाँ मिलता है वो मेंढक के टर टर करने की आवाज कहाँ सुनाई देगी सिटी में. So all those things. ये श्वेत आतपत्र फर्स्ट कैंटो में भी आता है ना. When Krishna enters द्वारका, beautiful description. शीतात पत्र वजनैरुपस्कृतैः प्रसूनवर्षैरभिवर्षितः प्रति. क्या है वो अच्छा श्लोक है वो निकल ना कहीं पे. श्वेतात शीतात पत्र. As Krishna is entering Dwarka with Balramji, there is an umbrella above his head, Shitat Patra. Then Vyajan is also happening. Prasoon Varshai, and the flowers are being showered on him, different colors of flowers. And Vanmala, he has put very beautiful Vanmala. And that description is compared to some very nice, extraordinary, natural, phenomena. Sun, moon, rainbow, cloud, everything appearing together. Mila kya? Shitat Patra. I'll just find out. Beautiful description is there. It is 1:11:27. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes the 1:11:27 as Krishna is entering Dwarka. So what is happening? The Lord is passing along the public road of Dwarka. His head is protected by umbrella. Chamar is moving on both sides. Showers of flowers are falling. He is wearing a yellow garment, yellow flowers, yellow garland of garland of flowers. And how it appeared? Krishna is looking like Ghanashyam. He's black and he's surrounded by four things: sun, moon, lightning, and rainbow. Such phenomena never happens. Sun, moon, lightning, rainbow never happens. So the rainbow is what? The showers of flowers. That is like rainbow. The lightning is like the yellow garment which Lord is wearing. And the sun is the charmer. And the moon is the umbrella. So similar description is here also. विषंगवासा वनमालया विभो घनो यथार्कोडुपचाप विद्युतैः. So here the same type of description is coming. The Lord appeared in front of Daksha. First verse. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, on his chest is Lakshmi. He gave pleasure to whole universe by the skill of his smiling eyes, raining jewels of sweetness. What then to speak of the sweetness those eyes give to devotees? He showers his merciful glance on everyone to such an extent that in Kurukshetra, even enemies would get mesmerized seeing the beauty of Krishna. कौन सा श्लोक में बोलते हैं? Arjun would take advantage of that. He would shoot arrows and they would be killed and they would attain the highest destination. नहीं नहीं विश्वा फ्रेयर्स में नहीं आता है, उसमें आता है ना, वेरी फेमस वर्स. एनीवेज ये थर्ड कैंटो में आता है. How Uddhav ji is describing this as Krishna, he is in battlefield. He attained the highest destination. पार्थास्त्रपूता पद्मापुरस्य तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा यदा हवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दं नेत्रे पिबन्त्यो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूता पद्मापुरस्य. So if the enemies are benefited so much by the smile of the Lord, how the devotees would be having experience when they see the smile of the Lord. So then, now Lord has appeared in front of all the personalities, all the devtas, they are now offering respects. Translation, next verse, 22nd verse.
As soon as Lord Vishnu was visible, all the demigods, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, the Gandharvas, and all present there, immediately offered their respectful obeisances by falling down straight before him.
Everybody is offering obeisances. Yam Brahma, Varunendra, Rudra, Marutas, Tunvanti, Divyai, Stavai, Dhyana, Avasthi, Tadgatena, Mansa. Prabhupada writes all that. Everybody is offering obeisances. Next verse, translation. We'll read the verse. Tat tejasa hataruchaha sannajiva sadvasaha murdhna dhritanjali puta upatastu radhokshajam. So everybody was fearful. They were very, very respectful. No, casual behavior in front of the Lord. Just like if any ordinary person, if president comes in any place, so many rules and regulations, ऐसा खड़ा होना है, ऐसा बोलना है, ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, इतना सब चलना है. So if Supreme Lord comes, how much respect and all the awe and reverence must be there. So all the devatas, they stopped speaking. कोई कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है, शांत. That's how when we are in front of the Lord doing deity worship, we should be speaking as less as possible. भगवान के सामने खड़े हैं ना. Very, very full of respect, awe and reverence. Next verse, translation. Translation, please.
Although the mental scope of even demigods like Brahma was unable to comprehend the unlimited glories of the Supreme Lord, they were all able to perceive the transcendental form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. Only by His grace could they offer their respectable prayers according to their different capacities.
Okay, we'll recite this beautiful verse. Apyarvagrittayo yasya mahitvatma bhu adayaha yathamati grananti sma कृतानुग्रह विग्रहम
कृतानुग्रह विग्रहम्
अपि although arvag vrittayo yasya, it is not possible to understand the glories of the Lord by one's mental activity, by one's intelligence. Unlimited. Lord's glories are unlimited. But still, Atmabhu Adayah. Atmabhu is
Brahma.
Brahmaji. So Brahmaji and all the other devtas, although they could not perceive the glories, unlimited glory, but still, Yathamati, ये वर्ड पहले भी कहीं आया है ना, याद है?
रामति यथा श्रुति।
हाँ, कौन बोल रहे हैं?
नहीं
सूत गोस्वामी फर्स्ट कैंटो में बोलते हैं और ये मैत्रेय मुनि बोलते हैं। हाँ, क्या बोलते हैं? यथामति यथा श्रुतम कीर्तिर हरेर स्वाम सत्कर्तुम गिरम अन्य अभिधा असती। कैसे शुरू होता है ये? यथामति यथा श्रुतम कीर्तिर हरेर स्वाम सत्कर्तुम गिरम अन्य अभिधा असती। So although nobody can understand the glories of the Lord, but still, whatever I have heard and whatever I have realized, yatha mati, yatha shrutam, I will describe the glories, otherwise my tongue will become unchaste. Mila?
The word anga comes in there.
Ah.
He addresses
Yes.
first word.
और वो फर्स्ट कैंटो में सूत गोस्वामी बोलते हैं, just like the birds fly in the sky as far as their flying ability is, I will also speak the glories of the Lord as far as my intelligence goes. अभी तो देखना ही पड़ेगा, रुकिए देख लेते हैं। यथामति तथापि कीर्तयाम्यंग, still I'll speak, oh great. And ये फर्स्ट कैंटो में ये बोलते हैं शुभदेव गोस्वामी, सूत गोस्वामी बोलते हैं सारी, सोहम व श्रावयिष्यामि यथा धीतम यथामति, I will speak as whatever I have heard, yatha dhitam yathamati, whatever I have realized, whatever I have heard. That is very important. So all the devtas, as the glories of the Lord are unlimited, one can count the grains of the sand, one can count the snowflakes, one can count the sun rays, still one cannot count the glories of the Lord. नान्तं विदाम्यहममि मुनियोऽग्रजास्ते माया बलस्य पुरुषस्य कुतो वराये गायन् गुणान् दशशताननादिदेवा शेषोऽधुनापि समवस्तनस्य पारम्. Since beginning of creation, अनंत शेष is glorifying. अनंत शेष को बुला के सेवा दिया, भाई आपको सेवा करनी है, क्या करना है? आपका भूमंडल उठाना है। तो सेवा दिया तो पहला क्वेश्चन क्या पूछते हैं? कब तक करना है? तो बोले कब तक करना है? आप शुरू करिए भगवान का गुणगान करना, when it comes to end you can leave it. Since beginning of creation is singing, it has not come to an end, इसलिए उठा के रखे अभी तक. It will not end also. Another verse that says, bhupam sava he mihika dyubhasyaha. Grains of sand can be counted, flakes can be counted, snowflakes, but nobody can count the glories of the Lord. ऐसे दोनों भागवतम का ही आया था थर्ड कैंटो में.
Grains.
हाँ, नहीं मत
Actually याद नहीं है.
भूपाम सवः.
So, Prabhuji, very nice point. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this purport. The serving capacity increases.
हाँ जी, हाँ वो
The point Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport is very.
थर्ड कैंटो, ये 10th कैंटो में आता है, सॉरी. यस,
Which one is that?
10:14:7 Brahma ji is offering this prayers. Gunat manaste api gunan vimatum hitavatirnasya ka ishirasya kalena vairmai vimita sukalpai bhupam sava khe mihika dvibhasya. 10:14:7. और दूसरा वाला तो आई थिंक थर्ड कैंटो का है ना, वो गायन गुणान दश शतानन. एक मिनट उसका भी बताता हूँ कहाँ पे है। वो तो सेकंड कैंटो है। वो तो आता है। नहीं नहीं, अनंत शेष सिंगिंग वो आता है ना, आया ना। स्नोफ्लेक्स इज 10th कैंटो। ओके, चैतन्य महाप्रभु का लीला में भी ऐसा ही आता है डिस्क्रिप्शन। उसमें आता है अनंत चैतन्य लीला के करुणन and Samashmani. Okay, so Prabhupada writes, the glories of the Lord are unlimited. He tells about Ananta Shesh. He is glorifying since his with his unlimited mouths. And then Prabhupada writes, it is not possible for any living entity to understand or to glorify the Lord, but one can offer prayers or service to the Lord according to one's ability. And then Prabhupada writes, very important line. By serving, this capacity is increased by the service. Sevon mukhehi jihva ado. Service of the Lord begins with the tongue. So whatever capacity one has, one should start serving the Lord and seeing the desire of the devotee to serve. Lord gives mercy and the capacity to serve increases. So it depends on our desire to serve. If we have intense desire to serve, Lord will show his mercy. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatamam vande paramananda madhavam. Lord empowers the devotee. Only thing missing is our desire. Everything is given by the Lord. If we pray sincerely enough. Prabhupada quotes that by the mercy of the Lord, a layman can compose prayers. Mukam karoti vachalam. That's what he writes. Such spiritual perfection is not limited by material qualifications. In the outside world, qualifications, material qualifications and skills are important. In spiritual circles, the desire is important. If desire is there, service will be awarded and empowerment will be given. That is spiritual calculation. The spiritual service doesn't depend on the skills. It depends on the sincere desire to serve. And for sure, the Lord will reward sufficient qualification. So one should not feel that, well, if everything is going to happen by mercy of the Lord, why should I endeavor? दे दीजिए ना भगवान, दे दीजिए भी, और क्या भी अपने आप करवा लेंगे. Prabhupada writes in that purport, in this purport only. अच्छा लाइन लिखते हैं, वॉलंटरी एंडेवर, इसमें नहीं लिखते, कहीं और लिखते हैं. He writes in some place, voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. I think we have read this line somewhere. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. I think in the case of Uddhavji, Prabhupada writes, voluntary endeavor. Yes, in the case of Uddhav, in case of Brahmaji, it comes. When Brahmaji, he did tapasya and the Lord appeared in front of him. Lord says, and Brahma starts offering prayers. So Lord says, Brahmaji, you heard tapa, tapa. Who spoke that? I spoke. And who gave you faith to believe in those words? I said, I gave. Who gave you strength to do tapasya? I gave. And now you are offering prayers. Who is giving you intelligence to offer prayers? I am giving. So what is yours? Everything is coming from me. मच्चकर्थांग मत्स्तोत्रम मत्कथाभ्युदयांकितम यदवा तपसि ते निष्ठा स एष मद अनुग्रह. सब मेरे कृपा से हो रहा है. So in that, Prabhupada writes a brilliant line. He says, spiritual perfection is not limited by material qualifications, but is developed by dint of one's sincere endeavor to render transcendental service. Voluntary endeavor is the only qualification for spiritual perfection. That's it. No other qualification is needed. Voluntary endeavor. You endeavor, everything else will be provided. Otherwise, nobody can glorify the Lord. But whatever our capacity is, we should do it. That's what Brahmaji and all the Devtas are doing. And we are doing for our purification. Okay. Then Prabhupada writes, how the service begins with the tongue. And then Prabhupada writes about chanting and prasad. With these processes, one can begin his service. And as the service increases, the Lord reveals more and more to the devotee. So that's how. When Lord sees that this devotee is doing such nice service, Lord reveals. और कैसे सेवा अच्छे से कर सकते हैं. Next verse translation.
When Lord Vishnu accepted oblations offered in the sacrifice, Daksha, the Prajapati, began with a great pleasure to offer respectful prayers on him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, actually the master of all sacrifices and accepted all Prajapati, and he served even by such personalities as none and Shukla.
So now again, Daksha, he starts offering beautiful prayers. So many of the prayers which are offered here, they are offered by various personalities, and they have two things. Everybody will be offering prayers now to the Supreme Lord, starting with Daksha. So it has praise of the Lord without sufficient understanding of the glories of the Lord. That is one part of the prayer. And second part is it has some indirect criticism or blame of others. इनको नहीं मालूम इनको ऐसा करके इन्होंने ऐसा किया. So सुबोधनी में अच्छे से वो चार्ट वार्ट बनाया हुआ है. टेबल है. How everybody offered prayers and they have some criticism. किसी को मतलब कोई सब लोग किसी न किसी को गाली दे रहे हैं. So acharyas, they give real meaning of these prayers and they positively interpret whenever it is necessary. So translation, the 26th verse.
Hare Krishna. Daksha addressed the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Lord, you are transcendental to all speculative positions. You are completely spiritual, devoid of all fear, and you are always in control of material energy. Even though you appear in the material energy, you are situated transcendentally. You are always free from material contamination because you are completely self sufficient. Hare Krishna.
So Daksha is saying, Oh Lord, you are transcendental, spiritual, devoid of all fear, you are always in control. So what is incomplete praise? Why the praise is incomplete? Because Daksha, he was glancing at Lord Shiva and he committed offense against
कधी आणणार मी मी आता जाणार तू जाणार 7ला ना
सब लोग करते रहते हैं कुछ ना कुछ. Daksha, by glancing scornfully at Shiva, committed offense, and thus, even after the offense was annulled, he had a material conception of the Lord's form. Therefore, what is he saying? He says that the Lord takes a human form here. He is describing about the Lord Shiva here. The incomplete praises of the Lord Shiva. That's what he is describing. So Chakravarti Thakur is writing that. We'll read the whole Chakravarti Thakur's purport. You are pure consciousness alone, devoid of Maya, situated in your Swarup Swadhamni. Taking the role of a human, you appear to be impure. Oh, he's talking about Lord Vishnu. Taking the role of human, you appear to be impure, contaminated with material attachment within Maya. That's where he is incomplete in his praise. The Lord never gets contaminated. He's saying, you appear to be impure, contaminated with material attachment within Maya. You alone are the Lord and takes the covering of knowledge. Others, now he says, others take coverings of ignorance, like Lord Shiva. He is criticizing still Lord Shiva. Others taking covering of ignorance, like Shiva, though playing human roles, do not know how to act. No, that's still there is some indirect criticism of Lord Shiva still. Playing human roles, they don't know how to act. Lord Shiva manifested himself as self-satisfied and indifferent to me, his father-in-law in the assembly. However, hearing the death of Satyajit, you went to Satyabhama with Balram and began crying. So that's what is described by Daksha. Still he is indirectly having some criticism of Lord Shiva here. So Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, basically, he is saying he gets affected by the modes. Vishnu never gets affected. Later, actually, Lord Shiva also admits that he overreacted. He should not have done all these things. He should not have killed Daksha. Lord Shiva also admits later all these things. So, because whenever anybody punishes some subordinate in this world, it is always mixed with compassion and little bit of grudge. Because only Lord Vishnu can punish out of pure compassion. Anyone else, if he is not pure, the punishment always has grudge. कि भाई इसने ऐसा गड़बड़ किया था पहले, ऐसा गड़बड़ किया था तो चलो इसको और punishment देंगे. Not out of compassion of rectifying the person. That is what is described here. Now all the sages, the priests, they start offering prayer. Translation, please.
The priest addressed the Lord, saying, O Lord, transcendental to material contamination, by the curse offered by Lord Shiva's men, we have become attached to the crucifixes, and thus we are now fallen in their do not know anything about you. On the contrary, we are now involved in the inventions of the police department.
You can give that Subodhin, please.
Under the plea of executing rituals in the name of God. Know that we have made arrangements for the
So the Ritvijas, they offer prayers, oh my Lord. Because of the curse of Nandi, now we are absorbed in all the karma kandi rituals. We cannot understand you properly. And if we cannot understand you, how will the Daksha know? That is the indirect criticism. So they glance at Daksha. हमको नहीं समझ रहा इसको कैसे समझेगा आपके बारे में? So that's how. What do you know, Daksha? We cannot know you. How will you know? That's how they are commenting. They are glancing at Daksha and commenting. Priests says that they are all engaged in just doing the yogic rituals and which are mentioned in the Vedas. Prabhupada writes one should go beyond the Vedas. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna, Yamimam Pushpitam Vacha Prabhupada writes all that. Now, all the assembly members, Sadasyaha, they start offering prayers. They describe the path of material entanglement. Translation, please.
The members of the assembly addressed the Lord for exclusive shelter for all who are situated in troubled life. In this formidable court of conditional existence, the time element, like a snake, is always looking for an opportunity to strike. This world is full of ditches of so-called distress and happiness. And there are many ferocious animals always ready to attack. The fire of lamentation is always blazing, and the mirage of false happiness is always alluring, but one has no shelter from them. Thus, foolish persons live in the cycle of birth and death, always overburdened in discharging their so-called duties, and we do not know when they will accept the shelter of their lotus.
Very, very beautiful verse. This one verse describes the entire material existence. Utpatti, Adhwani, will read, very beautiful words are described here. So there is an indirect comment. So first they praise. What is their prayer? Because of, the entanglement in this material world, we can't take shelter of your lotus feet. It is so very difficult to take shelter of your lotus feet, oh my Lord. And then they are commenting on Daksha, passing comment. If we cannot understand, how will this Daksha understand? He is pakka absorbed in material sense gratification. He is mrigatrishi, he is thirsty for sense objects. So now, beautiful words are described here. This world has antaka ugra. The time element is like the snake, antaka ugra, and vyal anala vishte. This time factor, antaka is the time factor. It is like ugra vyalanala. It is like a very, very deadly snake ready to strike. At the least expected moment, the time factor strikes. It comes in the 8th canto. Very powerful verse. Pramattamuccai kritya chintaya pravriddhalobha vishayeshu lalasa Pramata sahasa vibatyase shulle lihano ahirivantakam mukham. So all the devatas, they are praying to Lord Vishnu, and after they want to defeat the demons, they go to Lord Vishnu. वहां पे प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं. Pramattam People in this world are mad out of sense gratification. Why? Pravriddha lobh, इतना लोभ है, विषयेषु लालसा है. And because of this, they are completely oblivious of the time factor. This time factor, it is like the snake. When the rat is least conscious, the snake comes and eats it. Shulle lihano ahi iva antakam. Just like when the rat is very, very oblivious, the snake attacks. Similarly, this time factor, you are the time factor. People are absorbed in sense gratification. You are never apramatta. Tvam apramatta. You are always conscious. So this time factor, it is like the snake, just looking for an opportunity to strike. And there is no shelter, asharana. The word is asharana. There is no shelter in this world. And in this world, there are dvandva. These dvandva, what is this material duality? Happiness, distress, attachment, hatred. They are like the ditches of duality. And one can fall in this ditch anytime. Ek to, the forest of material enjoyment is very graphically described in the 5th chapter, 5th canto. ऐसा ये व्यक्ति forest में जा रहा है and he falls down in the ditch sometimes. And then in this forest, what is there? Khala mriga bhay, there are fierce wild animals. And then shok dave, there is a fire of lamentation. Samsara dava nalidaloka chal raha hai. And he is not walking freely, he is walking with lots of burden. कैसे भागेगा? किसका भार है? गेह उरु भार. He is carrying the burden of family responsibilities. So somebody may ask, अरे then why he is going on this path? जा क्यों रहा है? विषय मृगत ऋषि. Because he is running behind the mirage of false happiness. एक्चुअल नहीं है, भाग रहा है, भाग रहा है। विषय मृग, मृग तृष्णा है वो। कुत्राशिषा श्रुति सुखा मृग तृष्ण रूपा, इट इज ऑल मृग तृष्णा. So when this personality will take your shelter, oh my Lord, it is so very difficult. Only when one is purified by serving devotees, then one takes shelter of Krishna. Dhautatma Purusha, that is a symptom of a purified soul. What is a symptom of purified soul? Krishna pada moolam na munchati. He never leaves the lotus feet of Krishna. So all these assembly members, they describe the condition of the material world and बोलते हैं, अरे कैसे आपका शरण लेंगे? How we will take shelter of your lotus feet, O my Lord? Prabhupada writes, people who are not in Krishna consciousness are living in a very precarious life. Padam padam vipadam tesham, because of forgetfulness of Krishna. So Krishna consciousness movement is giving a great relief. Now, Lord Shiva starts speaking. Translation.
Lord Shiva said, My dear Lord, my mind and consciousness are always fixed on your lotus feet, which as a source of all benediction and the fulfillment of all desires, are worshipped by all liberated great sages because your lotus feet are worthy of worship. With my mind fixed on your lotus feet, I am no longer disturbed by persons who blaspheme me, claiming that my activities are not purified. I do not mind their accusations, and I excuse them out of compassion, just as you exhibit compassion towards all living entities.
So Lord Shiva, he is offering prayers. My mind is fixed. Ashisha iha akhila arthe. So Lord Shiva is saying, my mind is always fixed at your lotus feet, oh my Lord. Your lotus feet, they are Ashisheha akhila arthe. They are fulfillment, they are source of all the benedictions. Ichha pidhanam nijapada pallavam, a similar word. Lord's lotus feet can fulfill all the desires. So I am not disturbed. When people, they are criticizing me, I was not disturbed. I just forgave them. So he is indirectly he's commenting that my mind was fixed on Lord, your lotus feet, oh my Lord. So I didn't even mind when Daksha was criticizing me and accusing me. So Prabhupada, Chakravarti Thakur writes, those who do not have knowledge, such as Daksha, say that I have broken the rules of good conduct. That is only gossip. Because of your great mercy and because of the because of the mercy of the devotees, I do not become disturbed by that. So Srila Prabhupada writes how Lord Shiva, he is expressing his regret that having become angry. He says, I became angry and I disturbed the sacrificial activities of Daksha. King Daksha had insulted him in many ways, and thus he had become angry and had frustrated the entire sacrificial ceremony. Later, he was pleased. Later, when he was pleased, the yajna performances were reinstituted, and therefore he regretted his activities. Now he says that because his mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord, he is no longer disturbed. So that's how Lord Shiva is saying, earlier, I out of anger, he did something, but now I am very peaceful, fixed at your lotus feet. Okay, now, Bhrigu Muni, he started speaking. Translation.
Bhikkhu said, My dear Lord, all living entities, beginning from the highest, namely Lord Brahma, down to the ordinary person, are under the influence of insurmountable spell of illusory entity, and thus they are ignorant of their constitutional position. Everyone believes in the concept of the body, and all are thus submerged in the darkness of belief. They are actually unable to understand how you live in every living entity as a super soul, nor can they understand your absolute position. But you are the eternal friend and protector of all surrendered spirits. Therefore, please be kind towards us and forgive all our offenses.
Hmm. So now Brigumuni is asking forgiveness, that please forgive us, because we are also covered by ignorance. Even Brahma, Shiva, and myself, all are covered by ignorance. He is, telling that all of us are covered by ignorance. So he says, Srila Prabhupada writes, Bhrigu Muni was conscious of the scandalous behavior exhibited by each and every one of them, including Brahma and Shiva. Even Shiva acted in a wrong way. So he also made a mistake. So Brahmaji is saying everyone in this world is covered by ignorance, O my Lord. So we have made a mistake. Please forgive us. Even Brahma, even Shivji cannot know your glories. So please forgive us. They are just ignorantly saying they know. But they don't know your glories, O my Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is writing. And by mentioning Brahma, he wanted to state that everyone is under the concept of the body, under the concept of material energy, all but Vishnu. Now, Brahmaji starts offering his prayers. Translation.
Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord, your personality and eternal form cannot be understood by any person who is trying to know you through the different process of acquiring knowledge. Your position is always transcendental to the material creation, whereas the empiric attempt to understand you is material, as are its objectives and instruments. Hare Krishna.
भृगु बोल रहे हैं ब्रह्मा भी नहीं समझ सकते. ब्रह्मा जी बोल रहे हैं ये भृगु कैसे आपका शरण लेंगे. So they are indirectly passing comments also. So Chakravarti Thakur writes here, how can people like Brahma, like Bhrigu, see your material form? So Bhrigu is saying, Arey, they can't know you. Ignorantly they say that I know. So Brahmaji say, Arey, Bhrigu how can he see your form, O my Lord? So that's how. He's saying your personality and form cannot be understood by any person who is trying to understand you through different processes of knowledge. So non-devotees, they can never see the Lord. And devotees and Lord can never hide himself from his devotees. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyai sevonmukhe jihvado swayam eva spuratyadaha. The devotees can only know the Lord. And Srila Prabhupada writes, Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only a devotee can know the Supreme Lord by the dint of devotional service, nobody else. No impersonalists can know, no jnanis can know. There are no jnanis in spiritual world. There are no yogis in spiritual world. There are only devotees in spiritual world. Only devotees can know the Lord. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna condemns materialists are moodha. Namam dushkritino moodha prapadyante naradama. They can never know me. Avajananti mama moodha. Many times Krishna says that people, they can't understand when I descend in my original form. So Brahma, he said that no one can see you with material vision. So Indra, he says, Arey, we are seeing you. So next prayer, he's saying, Arey, we are seeing your transcendental form, oh my Lord. Why he's saying that we cannot see you? So Indra offers his prayers. Next verse.
Indra said, My dear Lord, your transcendental form with 8 hands and weapons, each of them appears for the welfare of the entire universe, and it is very pleasing to the mind and the eyes. In such a form, the Lordship is always prepared to punish the demons who are envious of your devotees.
So he's saying, अरे we are able to see your beautiful form by your mercy. ब्रह्मा जी को बोल रहे हैं, ये क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Why is he saying you cannot see? We are able to see. So Srila Prabhupada writes, it is generally understood that Lord appears in 400 form, but here the Lord appeared in 800 form. And then after a few lines, Prabhupada writes, as Lord Brahma had said, to realize the transcendental form of the Lord is beyond power of senses. Adhokshaja, the Lord is Adhokshaja. Why Adhokshaja? Beyond the reach of the senses. So that's the natural thing, that's all actual. In reply to the statement of Brahmaji, Indra is saying, even though the form of the Lord is transcendental, but mercifully appears in front of us, that is his greatness. And therefore, an ordinary man can also see him. For example, Krishna appeared just like 6 or 7 years old boy in Vrindavan, and everybody, all the residents of Vrindavan, he could see the Lord. Lord lifted Govardhan for 7 days. That's how. This uncommon feature of the Lord should convince even materialistic persons who want to speculate to the limit of the material senses. Although the Lord is inconceivable, but he becomes conceivable by his mercy. We can perceive him by his mercy. That is the glory of the Lord. So here Indra is telling, oh, we are also seeing him by his mercy. The materialists, the impersonalists, they can't see the Lord, but the devotee can see the Lord. So now, after this, all the wives of the performers of sacrifice, they offer their prayers. Translation.
The wives of the performers of the sacrifice say, my dear Lord, the sacrifice was arranged under the instruction of Brahma, but unfortunately Lord Shiva, being angry at Daksha, devastated the entire scene. And because of his anger, the animals meant for the sacrifice are lying dead. Therefore, the preparations of the yajna have been lost. Now, by the glance of your lotus eye, the sanctity of this sacrificial arena may be again invoked.
So please revive this sacrifice, O my Lord. Everything is devastated because of the followers of Lord Shiva. Now please again revive, because without your presence, nothing can be accomplished. So Prabhupada writes that unfortunately, when Daksha's sacrifice was devastated, some of the animals were killed. One was killed just to replace the head of Daksha. Their bodies were lying about. So क्या करें भाई? The sacrificial arena was turned into a crematorium. So they are praying, please revive all these, please create auspiciousness. So Prabhupada again writes about why animal sacrifice was done in the yogic rituals. Now after this, the various sages are assembled there. They also offer their prayers. Translation.
Sages pray, dear Lord, your activities are very wonderful, and although you give
So all these sages, they are telling that, oh my Lord, all your activities are very, very astounding. The Lord's activities are bewildering sometimes, astounding. Just like in third canto, Uddhavji says, why Lord does certain things nobody can understand. Anyone remembers that? क्या क्या करते हैं भगवान? He would ask me for advice. He's unborn, still he takes birth. He's all powerful, still he runs away from the battlefield and takes shelter of a fort in the middle of the ocean. कर्माणनीहस्य भवो भवस्य ते दुर्गाश्रयोथारि भयात् पलायनम् कालात्मनो यत् प्रमदायुताश्रम स्वात्मन् रते खिद्यति धीर्विदामिह. He's self-satisfied, he marries 16,000 queens, बताइए. It is all astonishing. So the Lord's activities are all astonishing. And although you are acting through your potencies, it seems that you are under the influence of the modes, but you are always uncontaminated. ईशानमीशस्य प्रकृतिस्थोऽपि तद्गुणैः न युज्यते सदात्मस्ते यथा बुद्धि तदाश्रया। कहाँ पे आया ये श्लोक? हमने बहुत बार सुना है श्लोक। फर्स्ट कैंटो में आया है। कहाँ पे आया फर्स्ट कैंटो में? When Krishna enters Dwarka, he enters the palaces. All the queens, they're trying to attract his attention. But Lord is not attracted. Lord is not disturbed by their glances. So they are saying you are not attached to any of those activities. You are not even attached to God as a fortune. So these sages, they are making a comment. All other performers or actions are attached to the results, of my Lord. They are commenting towards Brahmaji and all the others. Whereas others worship Lakshmi for wealth, you do not accept her. So everybody in this world, they are worshipping you for some reasons. So that's how, but you are not attached to Lakshmi also. People are worshipping you for Lakshmi, you are not attached to Lakshmi. Now there are some Siddhas who are there, who are assembled there. They also offer their prayers. Translation?
The Siddhas prayed, like an elephant that has suffered in a forest fire, but can forget all its troubles by entering a river. Our minds, O Lord, always merge in the nectarian river of your transcendental pastimes, and they desire never to leave such transcendental bliss, which is as good as the pleasure of merging into the absolute.
This is the most devotional of all the prayers in this section. बाकी सब में कुछ ना कुछ तो मटेरियल या फिर कुछ तो कमेंट. This is the only prayer which is very, very devotional. Ayam tat katham rishtapiyush nadyam. Oh my Lord, our minds are merged in your nectarian pastimes. Manovarana, klesh davagni dagdha. And because of that, all the sufferings, we have forgotten all the sufferings. Because our mind is entering into your pastimes. And therefore, we never desire to leave such bliss. Trishartha, we are hankering to hear more of these pastimes. No nishkramati, our mind is not able to come out of it. So Prabhupada writes, the Siddhas, the Siddhalok is full of 8 kinds of perfections, but it appears that they are pure devotees here. So Prabhupada is mentioning, they are offering a pure devotional prayer. That's why they are saying they always merge in the nectarian river of hearing the pastimes of the Lord. Hearing of the pastimes of the Lord is called Krishna Katha. Prahlad Maharaj also offers this prayer, such type of prayer. He says, oh my Lord, Tadvirya Gayana Mahamrit Magna Triptaha Shoche Tato Vimukacheta Saindriyartha Maya Sukhaya Bharamudvato Vimodam. I am not concerned about crossing this material world. I am completely absorbed in hearing your pastimes, but I am only concerned about people of this world. Kitna लोग का problem चल रहा है, still they can't leave, but this enjoyment of this world. So that is how all these sages, they are also offering this beautiful prayer. Then Srila Prabhupada writes, if persons who are suffering in this material world, who are suffering in the forest fire of this material existence, will only enter the nectarian river of the description of the pastimes of the Lord, they'll forget all the troubles. Yasmin Satkarna Piyushe, if we drink the nectar of Harikatha, making the ears as the cup of hands, then all the contaminations of the world, of the heart will go away. So Siddhas, they are saying the mind of ordinary person is full of anxieties. Our mind is full of bliss because we are absorbed in your glories, O my Lord. So that's what we are supposed to do. We should never ever leave this chance of drinking the glories of the Lord. Kaviraj Goswami says, Ei amrit karapan yara sama nahiyan chitte kari sudrida vishwas ना पड़ा को तर्क करते अमेध्य कर्कशा वर्ते याते पड़िले होए सर्वनाश ए अमृत कर पान प्लीज ड्रिंक दिस नेक्टर ऑफ हरि कथा देयर इज नथिंग लाइक दिस यार सम नाहियान प्लीज हैव फेथ चित्ते कर सुदृढ़ विश्वास डोंट फॉल इनटू द डिच ऑफ मेंटल स्पेकुलेशन ना पड़ा को तर्क करते इट इज वेरी वेरी abominable if you fall in this sarvanash. So that's how Siddhas, they are offering prayers. Now, Prasuti, the wife of Daksha, she offers her prayer. Yajamani Uju Uvacha. Yajamani is Prasuti. Yeah, translation.
The wife of Daksha prayed as follows: My dear Lord, it is very fortunate that you have appeared in this arena of sacrifice. I offer my respectful obeisances on you, and I request that you be pleased on this occasion. That sacrificial arena is not beautiful without you, just as the body is not beautiful.
So she's saying, Oh Srinivas. She is using the word Srinivas Shriya Kantaya Trahinaha. Oh Srinivas, please be pleased upon us. Be pleased upon us, because if you are not there, it is all inauspicious. Just like when Kunti Maharani, she's offering her prayer, what is she saying? Because you are there, your footprints are marked, are there on our land, that's why there is auspiciousness. तत्पदैर अंकिता भाति स्वलक्षण विलक्षितै इमे जनपदा वृद्धा सुपक्कौषधि विरुधा वनाद्री नद्युदन्वन्तो हीयदन्ते तव विक्षिते. Because you are glancing, that's why there is auspiciousness. If you leave, everything is inauspicious. It is like headless body, Shir Shahina. Without Krishna consciousness, one is dead. So Prabhupada writes, this comparison is equally applicable to social body. Materialistic civilization is very proud of being advanced, but it is actually a useless trunk without the head. What is the use? Without Krishna consciousness, any advancement is of no value. Prabhupada quotes this verse from Hari Bhakti Sudhodai. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japas Tapa Apranasyev Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. It is a decoration of a dead body. If Bhagavad Bhakti is not there, whatever you do, Jati, Shastra, Jap, Tap, jo bhi kar lo, it is like decoration of a dead body. Chaitanya Rahit Deh Shushk Kasht Sam Jivite Mrit Se Dandetarayam. What is the use of living without bhakti to Lord Chaitanya? It is like living dead. Jivitai mrit sai. Anyways, he is dead, and after death, he will be punished by Yamraj also. So one time, Prabhupada was on a morning walk in New York, Central Park. And as they were walking by, a big branch of tree fell down suddenly in front of them. So Prabhupada, he told, this is our modern society, dead. Why they are dead? Because they are disconnected from Krishna. Because that's how Prabhupada would make connections. We are disconnected. The branch is disconnected from tree. That is why it says fallen. So if our society is not connected to Krishna, it is dead. Everything is inauspicious if it is not connected to Krishna. Only Krishna consciousness brings life. It animates, it purifies, it enlivens. Yasyakhilami sumangalai vacho vimishra gunakarma janmavi. All the sins are destroyed when we hear the beautiful glories of Krishna. Prananti, Shumbhanti, Punanti vai jagat. They give life, They purify, they animate. Yastad virakta shavashobhanamati. Otherwise, it is decoration of a dead body. So Prabhupada writes, the purport is that when a relative dies, especially among the lower class men, the dead body is decorated, dressed and ornamented. The body is taken in procession. That sort of decoration is of no value because the life force is gone. मतलब आजकल Western world में there is a huge, industry decorating the dead body. People they make their will कि मेरा body को ऐसा, you should put in this type of coffin और ये डालना है. What is the use of all that? So Praswati, she is telling, Srimad Chakravarti Thakur writes, you have been very merciful to me. I am daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, and as you were to Devahuti. So you became merciful to my sister Devahuti. Since you have brought your wife Lakshmi to my home, please deliver us who have been destroyed by the offense of Lord Shiva. So please remove all the inauspiciousness. Then there are Lokpals. They are also there. They offer prayer. Translation, please.
The governors of various planets spoke as follows. Dear Lord, we believe only in our direct perception, but under the circumstances, we do not know whether we have actually seen you with our material senses. By our material senses, we can simply perceive the cosmic manifestation, but you are beyond the five elements. You are the sixth. We see you, therefore, as the creation of the material world.
So all the Lokpas, they are saying again that, oh my Lord, we are seeing your form, but we don't know if we are seeing you because material senses cannot perceive you. And this is a comment directed towards the sages and the Gyanis and the Devtas. They are saying, those who think your form is material, they do not see you. Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam. Those who are dry philosophers, speculators, they can never know you, O my Lord. They can never see you because you are transcendental to material creation. Then the great mystics, they are also there. They also start offering prayers. Translation, please.
Great mystic said, dear Lord, persons who see you as non-different from themselves, knowing that you are the super soul of the living entities, are certainly very, very dear to you. You are very favorable towards those who engage in the devotional service, accepting you as the Lord and themselves as the servants. By your mercy, you are always inclined in their favor.
The Lord can be revealed only by the mercy of the Lord. In the case of Sarabham Bhattacharya and Gopinath Acharya, when Mahaprabhu comes and he is in ecstasy, he falls down unconscious, and Sarabham takes him to his house, and then he ultimately comes back to consciousness. Gopinath Acharya, he tells, do you know who is he? He is Supreme Lord. Sarvam says, hey, Lord is Triyogi, ye chauthe mein kahan se aa gaye? How can I understand and accept this? So lots of debate and arguments. And then Gopinath Acharya says, you will never understand because you have not received the mercy of the Lord. So he says, Sarvam says, Acha, I have not received. You have received the mercy. Arre wah, ye acha. So because they were like relatives, so thoda sa unme aisa mazak chal raha hai. So there, Gopinath Acharya tells, yes, in future, when Lord will show mercy to you, you will also understand. Athapi te deva padambujadvaya prasadaleshanugrihite evahi janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno na chanya ekopi chiram vichinvan. If Lord doesn't show mercy, even if somebody endeavors for chiram, कितना भी प्रयास करो, नहीं समझेगा. So when you show mercy, then you reveal yourself. Therefore, you are called as Bhakta Vatsala. You are never Jnani Vatsal or Yogi Vatsal. You are always Bhakta Vatsal. So he says, though the Jnanis are very dear to you, you are Bhakta Vatsal. So you bestow bhakti to them. So 39th verse also is spoken by them only. We'll read that also. Translation.
We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, Supreme, who has created varieties of manifestations and put them under the spell of three qualities of the Lord, in order to create, maintain, and elevate. He himself is not under the control of the external. In his personal feature, he is completely devoid of the derivative manifestations of the Lord, and he is under no illusion of
Yeah. So in the previous purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Priyo hi jnanino atyartham. Although Lord says 4 types of people come to me, who are they? Out of them, who is dearmost? ज्ञानी. और ये ज्ञानी को मेरे पास पहुंचने में कितना समय लगता है? बहुनाम जन्मनामन्ते. So Prabhupada writes, because you are merciful to jnanis, you give them devotion. Ultimately, they come to devotional service. Bahunam Jarmanamante. So therefore, Lord is famous as Bhakta Vatsal. Prabhupada writes, he is never addressed as Jnani Vatsal. कभी भी ज्ञानी वत्सल नहीं बोलते उनको, भक्त वत्सल ही बोलते हैं हमेशा. Chakravarti Thakur quotes few verses. He quotes a verse from 11th Canto. My dear Uddhava, neither Brahman, Shiva, Shankarshan, God is a fortune, and indeed my own self is as dear to me as you are. That's how Lord is glorifying Uddhavaji. So that is how Lord is so very affectionate to his devotees. And then in 39th verse, he describes that those who are blinded by material energy, they can never understand me. Avajananti, they can never understand. Jananti, those who know me. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yoveti tattvataha. Those who know me, they attain liberation. Then ajananti, those who don't know. And avajananti, those who know me in a wrong way. जो जानते हैं, they come to me. Those who don't know, they don't come to me. And those who know me in a wrong way, avajananti is knowing Lord in wrong way. Mama mudha. What happens to them? Manushim tanuma param bhavam ajananto. They can never understand. They will always be confused. So these impersonalists, they can never understand these Mayavadis. Prabhupada writes about them. Prabhupada writes. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I appear by my internal potency. Where Krishna says like that? I appear by my internal potency. Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Nobody can force the Lord. Abhi aana hai aapko, abhi prakat hona hai, theek hai? Now you have to appear in front of. No, nobody can, push the Lord or control the Lord. Then all the Vedas personified, they start offering prayers. Brahma Uvacha. We'll recite this. Namaste Srita Sattvaya Karmadinam cha Sutaye Nirgunaya cha Yatkashtham Aham Veda Parepicha.
We offer our respectable obeisances unto you, the Lord, the shelter of the quality of goodness and therefore the source of all religion, spiritual penance. For you are transcendental to all material qualities, and no one knows you or your.
The Vedas are saying we can't understand you. What to speak of anyone else? Therefore we are just offering obeisances. हम भी नहीं समझ सकते, बाकी क्या समझेंगे? So this is directed towards the followers of karma and jnana. We are also not able. No one knows you. You are transcendental. So Prabhupada writes, there are there is a trinity of the three material qualities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Prabhupada writes about them. And then he says, Lord Vishnu is superintendent of mode of goodness, which is source of religion, knowledge, austerity, renunciation, opulence. So basically, nobody can understand the Lord. Only a devotee can understand the Lord. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, I and other Vedas teaching Jnana do not know the truth. Then what to speak then others who are present here? We cannot understand you. Then Agni Dev, he starts speaking. Next verse translation.
The fire god said, My dear Lord, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because by your favor I am luminous as a blazing fire, and I accept the offerings mixed with butter and offered in sacrifice. The 5 kinds of offerings according to the Yajurveda are all your different energies, and you are worshipped by the 5 kinds of Vedic bindings. Sacrifice means your supreme personality of Godhead.
So fire god says, you know what I do? I just carry the offerings in the sacrifice, but I don't know about you, my Lord. I am just doing the service of bringing the sacrifices to you. So this is a statement towards the performers of sacrifice, because they are thinking that they are in knowledge. Agni Devi is saying, I am also not aware of the glories of you. How will they be aware of your glories? So the 5 types of sacrifice are mentioned. Chakravarti Thakur writes here. Agni Hotra, Dash Paurnamasa, Chaturmasya, Pashu Yagya, Somayagya, all these things. So Prabhupada in the purport, he describes how the purpose of Yagya is to please the Lord. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita says this? यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणो अन्यत्र लोकोयम कर्म बंधनः। और भी यज्ञ की बात आई तो प्रभुपाद क्या लिखेंगे यहाँ पे? संकीर्तन यज्ञ. So Prabhupada never leaves a chance. So Prabhupada describes about that also. The Sankirtan Yajna, the best is Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, next verse now. All the devtas, the demigods, they start speaking. Yes. Translation.
The demigod said, Dear Lord, formerly when there was a devastation, you conserved all the different energies of material manifestation. At that time, all the inhabitants of the higher planets, represented by such liberated souls as Sanaka, were meditating on you by philosophical speculation. You are therefore the original person, and you rest in the water of devastation on the bed of Shesh and the snake. Now today, you are visible to us, who are all your servants. Please give us protection.
So you are protector, maintainer, and highlighter. Please protect us. We are your servants. So these are the statements which indicate that you are always seen by your servants whom you protect. So you are known by them and not by others. So therefore, please protect us. Prabhupada writes about the devastation, how there is partial devastation at the end of Brahma's day. What are the 4 types of devastation? उसके पहले होता है एक और प्राकृतिक प्रलय. Nitya means every moment something is getting destroyed. Naimittika, at the end of the day of Brahma. Prakritika, at the end of life of Brahma. Atyantika, when a living entity gets liberated. So Srila Prabhupada writes, another significant point in this verse is that the Devtas are saying, we are all your servants. Generally, if anyone has material desires to be fulfilled, he can ask Vishnu instead of going to Devtas. What is the problem in going to Devtas for material desires?
Temporary.
ठीक है, और what is the benefit in going to Krishna for material desires?
He will fulfill them only if it's good for us. And if you go to the devtas, they are like shopkeepers. If you do yagya, they have to give you the result.
Okay, well, that is a very preliminary understanding.
Uh-huh.
What else? Huh? He'll purify the desire only. When we go to Krishna for material desires, he fulfills the desires and purifies the desire also. He gives in such a way कि दोबारा मांगेगा ही नहीं.
Purified means he will remove that.
हाँ, मतलब purify. हाँ, he'll remove the desire. That is the case of Dhruv Maharaj. Kamaistaiste ritaghyana prapadyante anna devata. Those whose intelligence is stolen, they go to devatas. So, of course.
But for in the case of
Lord devotee को तो anyways desire नहीं है material, तो कैसे उनका पूरा करेंगे? Desire किसकी होती है material? बेचारे साधकों की. Pure devotee की तो desire सब मत spiritual है, तो उनके लिए तो कुछ problem ही नहीं है. A Three Muni's case, it didn't happen because he didn't take shelter of a devotee. We heard ना? पहले आया ना? He was not guided by a devotee. Dhruva was guided by a devotee. That's how a devotee knows how to dovetail the material desires. That is the responsibility of a preacher. If somebody comes with material desires, engage them in seva. ये सेवा करो आपकी इच्छाएं पूरी होंगी. तो सेवा करते करते इच्छा चली जाएगी. So that is what happens when one starts serving the Lord. Just like when a famous story उनसे एक बड़े तो पॉलिटिशियन आए थे भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती को मिलने. क्या नाम था उनका? You said I have some very important. Madan Mohan Malviya. Yes. Madan Mohan Malviya. So he went and he said, I have some very important philosophical questions. So Saraswati Thakur said, I am busy. You can go to one of my disciples. He will tell you. Like, कौन हुए इनके पास आ रहे हैं? He's sending. Okay, ठीक है. He was a humble person. He went and this disciple, this devotee was busy in seva. He said, I have lots of services. What we can do is, you can help me in cleaning the pots. And when everything is done, then I'll answer your questions. So 2-3 hours he's bichara cleaning the pots only. So after the pots are cleansed off, then he says, हाँ बोलो क्या question? He says, no. I'll come next time. Questions are all solved. So Saraswati Thakur, he says, what happened? You didn't ask questions? He said, all my questions were answered while watching the pots. So that is what happens when we start serving, then automatically Divyagan Hriday Prakashita. All the desires are purified. So Prabhupada writes about that. So then the Gandharvas, they start speaking. Translation, please.
The Gandharvas said, Dear Lord, all the demigods, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indra, and Manichi, and the great favorites are all only differentiated parts and parcels of your body. You are the Supreme Almighty Great. The whole creation is just like a plaything for you. We always accept you as a Supreme Personality of Godhead and we offer our respect to your differences.
So they are saying that while entering this assembly, we actually praise Daksha, but actually we are supposed to only glorify you. You are the Supreme Lord. All the others, they are only your parts and parcels. They are your amsha or amsha. Prabhupada writes in the purport, he describes who is a swamsha and vibhinnamsha, and then he says Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhritya. Everybody is servant of the Lord, and Krishna is the Supreme Personality. He is the Bhagavan. Same understanding, Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutas Tunvanti Divya Istavai. Same verse. Then Prabhupada writes, the Gandharvas acknowledge that although the Devatas may represent themselves as supreme, they are not supreme. That is a rare understanding. To realize that Devatas are not supreme, otherwise शिवजी भी देवता है, इंद्र देवता है, चंद्र देवता हो गए, दुर्गा भी हैं, सब भगवान ही है, शिव शक्ति भी भगवान, everybody. It's a rare understanding. So we should remember this is a fortune. Krishna's to Bhagavan Swam, ye samajhna is not an easy thing. People, they spend years and years, but still they can't understand this basic principle that Krishna is Supreme Lord. And then Vidyadharas, they start speaking. Translation, they glorify the human form of the Lord. Translation.
The Vidyadhara said, Dear
Dear
Lord,
Lord, this human form of body is meant for attaining the highest professional objective. But impelled by your external energy, the living entity misidentifies himself with his body, and with the material energy, and therefore influenced by Maya. He wants to become happy by material enjoyment. He is misled and always attracted by temporary, really happiness. But your transcendental activities are so powerful that if one engages in the hearing and chanting of such topics, it can be delivered from.
So they glorify the human body, that this human body it is meant for attaining the highest perfection, but because of the illusion, they want to become happy by getting material things in this world. Srila Prabhupada, he also focuses on this importance of human form. He quotes a verse from Srimad Bhagvatam, one of the part of the verse. Human form of life is called as Arthada. This verse comes in 11th canto. Labdhva sudurlabhamidam bahusambhavante. This human body we have achieved after many, many lives. Manushyam arthadam. It can give the highest perfection. Although it is anitya, it is temporary. So that is what Prabhupada writes. And then he says, Prahlad Maharaj says that even though temporary, the body can give us highest achievement. That's the greatest boon for human body, for a living entity to get a human body. But Maya is so strong that in spite of achieving this great boon, we are influenced. And there is one verse which says, the names of the Lord are so powerful, even at the end of life, if one chants the name of the Lord, they'll be liberated. But Kali Yuga people are so dull. They still don't take the names of the Lord. Yannamadheyam Riyamana Maturas Patan Skalanva Vivasho Grinan Puman Vimukta Karmargal. They become free from the karma. Still, people of Kali Yuga, they don't take it. So therefore, Prabhupada writes about chanting, the glories of chanting of the names of the Lord. And the beautiful description of the names and the activities of the Lord are described in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagvatam. These two books are special nectar of the words of Krishna. And then Prabhupada writes about the Maya Shakti, Avaranatmika, Prakshepatmika. That is what is described. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes that those who hear other glorifications, they can't enter your kingdom. Oh my Lord, in one of the verses it is described that those who are not attached to the hearing of the pastimes of the Lord, they can never enter the kingdom of the Lord. So people, they are so unfortunate, they never take to Krishna Katha. They never discuss the pastimes of the Lord. They are just absorbed in enjoying the things of the world. They are covered with two types of Shakti. What are the two potencies of Maya Shakti? Avaranatmika, Prakshepatmika. So that's how Prabhupada glorifies the last three verses, 45, 46, 7. The Brahmanas, they are offering prayers. Yeah, translation please.
And Brahmana said, Dear Lord, you are sacrifice personified. You are the offering of clarified butter. You are the fire. You are the chanting of Vedic hymns by which the sacrifice is conducted. You are the fuel. You are the flame. You are the crucigrass, and you are the sacrificial pots. You are the priests who perform the yajna. You are the demigods headed by Indra, and you are the sacrificial animal. Everything that you sacrifice is you or your nature.
Next verse, translation.
Dear Lord, who personified Vedic knowledge in the past millennium, long, long ago, when you appeared as a great boar incarnation, you picked up the world from the water as an elephant picks up a lotus flower from a lake. When you vibrated transcendental sound in the gigantic form of a boar, the sound was accepted as a sacrificial hymn, and great sages like Sanaka meditated upon it and offered prayers for your glorification.
Next. Translation.
Dear Lord, we were awaiting your audience because we have been unable to perform the yajnas according to the Vedic rituals. We pray unto you, therefore, to be pleased with us simply by chanting your holy name. One can surpass all obstacles. We offer our respectable obeisances unto you in your presence.
So in the 45th verse, they are saying you are sacrifice personified. Everything in sacrifice is you only. It is not that you are different from sacrifice. That's why he is called as Yagya. One of the names of the Lord is Yagya. And Varahadev is called as Yagya Murti. He is a personification of Yagya. So therefore, they glorify Varahadev also. And Prabhupada writes in this purport, a significant word used here is Traigatra, which means that the transcendental form of the Lord is the Vedas. So anyone who engages in deity worship, it is understood to be studying all the Vedas. So a person who is doing deity worship, of course, that does not mean one should not read. Because Prabhupada once said, he installed the deities and he was going and he told, if you don't read scriptures, then the Archa Vigraha will become Galagraha. You will think why spiritual master has given this burden of worshipping the deities. So one should read the scriptures also. And then in the 47th verse, they are saying, oh my Lord, simply by chanting your names, one can surpass all the obstacles. So all these obstacles were created by the followers of Lord Shiva. So they are, directing this to followers. You did all this. By chanting of the names of the Lord, everything becomes purified. So Brahmanas, they were hopeful that sacrifice would be carried out now without obstacles because Lord Vishnu is present personally. When Parikshit Maharaj is hearing about Putana, and Shukadeva Goswami says, Putana is entering Khechari. Sakhechari Ekadotpatya Putana Nand Gokulam. She is entering Braja through the airways. So Parikshit becomes really disturbed because he is in that pastime. So Shukadeva Goswami, just to pacify him, says, don't worry, O Parikshit Maharaj. Wherever Krishna's name is there, one gets free from all the illusions. What to speak of when Krishna is there personally? Nayatra Shravanadini Rakshobhnani Sukarmasu Kurvanti Satvatam Bhartu Yatu Dhanyasya Tatrahi. So that's how when we perform Yajna, when we chant the names of the Lord, one becomes free of all the obstacles. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue next time. The Lord now starts instructing Daksha about various things. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagvatam ki jai.